The scream cut through the compound like a blade. Neighbors froze, mid-conversation, mid-sweep, mid-step. A child's marble rolled across the cracked cement. Somewhere in the distance, a generator coughed, choked, and fell silent. Inside the narrow room on the second floor of the Face Me, I Face You building, Chioma clutched her swollen belly, her wrapper loose, sweat already slicking her forehead. "Obinna!" she gasped, voice breaking into a strangled sob. "It's time. I can feel it. The baby is coming." Her husband stood by the door, frozen. He didn't move. He didn't even look like a man hearing the words he'd been waiting for, praying for 9 long months. Instead, Obinna's eyes darted toward the window. Not at Chioma. Not at the trembling of her hands. Not at the life clawing its way out of her. The neighbors outside began whispering. "Ah, Obinna wife don't dey born oh, why he still dey stand? Carry her go hospital nah, which kind man be this?" But Obinna didn't move. His chest rose and fell heavily. His knuckles whitened against the frame of the wooden door. And then, without warning, he said in a low, trembling voice, "She cannot go to the hospital. Not tonight." The silence that followed was deafening. Even Chioma, writhing on the floor, stopped for a second, blinking up at him through her pain. What are you saying? Obinna, are you mad? The baby?" "I said no," he snapped, louder this time, his voice like a whip crack that silenced the murmurs from outside. And in that moment, something darker than fear settled into the cramped room. Chioma's cries grew louder, echoing through the compound walls. A woman from the next room, Mama Ife, rushed in, tying her scarf as she pushed past Obinna. "Young man, what'n they worry you? Carry your wife go General Hospital now before she die for here?" But Obinna stepped in front of the door, blocking her way, his tall frame a barricade. His eyes burned, not with anger, but with something wilder, desperation. "She cannot leave this house." His voice was low, cold, final. Mama Ife's eyes widened. "Are you possessed? You want kill him? Look at her, she'd die!" Chioma screamed again, clutching her belly, her nails digging into the cement floor. Tears streaked her face as she stared at the man she loved, the man she thought she knew. "Obinna, please. Take me. I don't care what you're afraid of. Take me." Obinna's lips trembled. For a moment, he looked like he might break, like he might scoop her up in his arms and run down the dusty stairwell to the waiting world. But then, from somewhere deep in his chest, came a whisper so soft, so chilling, it seemed not meant for any human ear. "If she steps outside, she will die. Both of them will die." The words lingered, heavy, unnatural. The neighbors outside shifted uncomfortably. Someone muttered, "This one dawn past my power, oh." Another whispered, "He dey talk like who dey under curse." Chioma's sobs filled the room. Sweat poured down her temples. Her body jerked with another contraction. She screamed until her throat went raw. And Obinna? He just stood there, watching, torn between love and a terror no one else could see. Because Obinna knew something the others didn't. Something that had haunted him every night since the first time Chioma said she was pregnant. Something tied to blood, to family, to a night in Enugu long before Lagos swallowed them. And now, as the cries of his wife and unborn child filled the air, he realized the truth he'd been running from for months was about to catch him. Chioma's scream tore through the room again, raw and guttural. Her nails scraped the cement, leaving white lines like claw marks. The smell of sweat and fear mixed with kerosene smoke wafting from the corridor, making the air thick, almost unbreathable. Obinna pressed his palms against his temples, eyes squeezed shut as if trying to block out more than just sound. Mama Ife, trembling with both pity and anger, turned on him. "You want kill your wife? Abeg shift make I carry her." "Go," she barked, moving to grab Chioma's arm. But Obinna lurched forward, blocking her, voice cracking like glass. "If you touch her, if she steps out that door, I swear, she won't survive it." The way he said it, like it wasn't a threat but a prophecy, froze Mama Eve mid-motion. Her lips parted, ready to curse him, but the words died in her throat. Something in his eyes, wide, bloodshot, hunted, made her shiver. Chioma's voice trembled as she gasped through her pain. Obinna, I don't understand. You told me we'd go. You promised. Why now? Why like this? He knelt beside her suddenly, grabbing her hand. His touch was warm, almost feverish. His jaw quivered, and for the first time his eyes softened, wet with unshed tears. Chioma. My Chioma. It's not that I don't want to take you. It's that I can't. You don't know what I've seen. What I've been told. What have you been told? She cried, her voice breaking, her whole body seizing with another contraction. The walls of the compound seemed to close in as more neighbors pressed to the doorway, whispering, shaking their heads. Some had their phones out, pretending to check messages but clearly ready to record if things spiraled. Lagos had taught them to be both bystanders and witnesses. One voice in the crowd hissed, "This man day mad. Make we call Kiki carry woman go hospital by force." Another countered, "No domestic matter. If we put hand, wahala fit reach police. A beg leave them." But nobody left. Nobody could. The tension was too thick. Obinna's chest rose and fell as he finally spoke again, each word weighted with dread. The night my sister gave birth in Enugu, she died. The baby too. And the doctor. Everyone in that hospital room. Only me survived. The murmurs at the door grew louder, confusion rippling through the crowd. Obinna swallowed hard, his throat bobbing. Since that night, I was warned. No woman of my bloodline must ever give birth in a hospital, or else death will follow. Death that doesn't just stop at the mother. It spreads, it swallows, and Chioma, his voice cracked. Chioma, you carry my blood now, you and the baby. If I take you to that hospital, it won't just be you. It won't just be the baby. Everyone in that place will die. Gasps filled the doorway. Mama Ifa staggered back, crossing herself. Someone muttered, "Jisoo!" Another hissed, "Na lie! Na excuse. Na fear de worry him." Chioma, writhing on the floor, stared at him with horror. Her lips trembled. "So you mean to tell me all this fear, all this madness is because of one night? Because of one story?" Obinna's hands shook as he grabbed her shoulders, desperate. "Not a story. I was there. I saw my sister's blood flood the floor. I heard the doctor scream before his throat closed like someone squeezed it from inside. I smelled death. I felt it crawling on my skin. And when I ran out, the midwives, they were already gone. Not sick, not stabbed. Gone." Chioma's eyes widened, but another contraction cut through her body, twisting her face with pain. She screamed so loud the whole compound flinched. Obinna's grip tightened. "Don't ask me to take you there. Don't. If you love me, if you love this child, stay here. Let it happen here, anywhere but that hospital." For a moment, only Chioma's sobbing filled the room. The neighbors exchanged uneasy glances. Even those who had dismissed Obinna as mad found themselves shivering at the conviction in his voice. Mama Ifa shook her head furiously. "Abomination! So because of fear you won't let your wife die for inside house? Nonsense." She turned to the crowd. "Make we force Am, carry the woman down." But before anyone could move, a sudden sound stopped them cold. A knock. 3 slow knocks on the wooden doorframe. The kind of knock that doesn't ask permission but announces presence. The crowd went silent. Even Chioma, in her pain, paused. Obinna turned, his face drained of color. Standing in the corridor was a tall, gaunt man in a long white caftan. His eyes were shadowed, his hands clasped behind his back. No one recognized him. He hadn't been among the neighbors a moment ago. He simply appeared. And when he spoke, his voice was like dry leaves scraping against each other. "She cannot go to the hospital." He is right. The corridor stilled. Even the hum of the night, the buzzing of mosquitoes around the naked bulb, seemed to retreat. The stranger stepped into the room, his sandals whispering against the cement. His face was lean, his cheekbones sharp like carved stone. He didn't look at the crowd. He didn't look at Mama Ify, who was clutching her chest, muttering prayers under her breath. His eyes fixed only on Obinna. Obinna staggered back, his breath quick and shallow. "No," he whispered. "Not you." The stranger tilted his head, lips curling into the faintest, coldest smile. "You thought you could run from it, Obinna? You thought Lagos would hide you?" His voice was quiet, but it carried, reaching everyone in the room, wrapping around their bones. Chioma tried to lift herself onto her elbows, but her body betrayed her. Another contraction ripped through her, pulling a guttural cry from her throat. Tears blurred her vision, but she forced out the words. Who are you?" The man's gaze shifted to her belly. His smile deepened, though it was joyless, eerie. "I am the one who keeps the covenant. And tonight, it is being tested." A murmur ran through the crowd, sharp as static. "Covenant? Test?" Mama Eve spat to the ground. "A beg, this one no be ordinary matter, na devil work." She started toward the door. "I'd go call pastor." But the stranger's voice cracked like thunder. "Stay where you are." And she froze, trembling, unable to take another step. Obinna's chest heaved as he stumbled forward, putting himself between the man and Chioma. His voice broke, but he forced it out anyway. I told you I would not let it happen again." The stranger's eyes gleamed, dark as oil. "And yet you are here. You lay with her. You gave her life. You called blood back into the circle. Did you think it would forget you?" Chioma's tears spilled faster now, not just from pain, but from the fear threading through every word. She clutched her belly, gasping, "Obinna, what is he saying? What circle? What have you done to me?" Her voice shattered him. His knees buckled and he dropped beside her. "I swear, Chioma, I didn't want this. I thought, maybe if we were far, maybe if we kept quiet." The stranger cut him off with a hiss. "The covenant does not break with silence. Blood calls to blood, and it demands payment." The crowd at the door began to shuffle back, some whispering hurried prayers, others muttering about curses, evil, things not of this world. Lagos was no stranger to gossip, but this was not gossip. This was fear, the kind that crawled into your skin and stayed there. Chioma's scream rang out again. The baby was coming faster now, her body convulsing. Sweat drenched her wrapper, her face, her trembling arms. She cried out, her eyes wild. "Obinna, help me, please!" Obinna grabbed her hand, tears streaming down his own face. "I will, my love. I will. I'll do whatever it takes." The stranger moved closer, the hem of his caftan brushing the cement. His voice was soft, but it carried a finality that sent shivers down every spine in the room. "You must choose, Obinna. Take her to the hospital and all will die. Keep her here, and the covenant will claim what it is owed." Obinna's mouth opened, but no sound came. He was trapped between death and death, between love and a curse older than his city. Chioma's grip tightened on his arm, nails digging into his flesh. Her eyes were wild, desperate, blazing through her pain. "Obinna, don't listen to him. Don't. Take me out of here. Take me before it's too late." The neighbors, torn between fear and pity, began to shout over each other. "Carry her, go. Don't go. If na true curse, call police. Call pastor." The compound dissolved into chaos, and in the middle of it, Obinna's world narrowed to two things: the woman he loved gasping for breath beside him, and the stranger's dark, endless eyes, waiting for his choice. Then, a loud, wet sound split the air. Chioma screamed, arching her back. Blood pooled beneath her. The baby was coming. The room plunged into frenzy. Mama Ife rushed forward with a basin. Two younger women flung wrappers across Chioma's legs. Someone screamed for hot water. The crowd swelled against the doorway. But the stranger only watched, his smile widening into something inhuman. His words, low and certain, slid like poison into the air. The child will not draw its first breath unless Obinna pays the price. The stranger's smile sharpened into something like a blade. He leaned forward, and the room felt suddenly colder, as if the night itself had inhaled. Every face in the doorway bent toward him, hungry for whatever explanation might save them from the terror unfurling in that cramped room. "The price," he said, slow and precise, "is the first of his blood." The words dropped like boulders. Chioma's scream turned thin and high, a wail that rattled the rafters. Obinna's hand tightened on hers until skin whitened at the knuckles. Across the room, someone gagged. "Firstborn?" Mama Eve croaked, the syllables swallowed by disbelief. "Which kin?" "The child," the stranger repeated. "The one that comes out of her now." "The covenant asks for the first. It must be given willingly. It must be named and offered. If you give the child, if Obinna gives his firstborn into the custody of the covenant, the circle stays closed. No blood swims through the hospital halls. No sudden deaths. Hospitals, doctors, nurses, they will breathe easy again. But the child will belong to us, never to be raised by those who are its kin." The procession of meaning moved through the crowd with terrifying slowness. Faces lost color. Someone began to whisper the kinds of prayers that people only remember in the dead years of night. A child at the doorway started to cry. Chioma's eyes widened in a way that cut through everything else. She was awake to the world now in a way she had never been. "No," she breathed. "Never. I will not. My baby." She convulsed with another contraction, and the room narrowed to a painful tunnel of light and sound. "Obinna," she gasped, raw with pain and righteous fury. "You cannot give our child to them. You will not. We will run. We will hide. We will do anything.